Today, I'm going to talk to you about multilingual typography and how it can be incorporated into mainstream graphic design with respect to branding. So what we do at Brand Union is we basically create, develop, and build brands. We develop strategy for a brand, and we create a complete and holistic identity system to translate the strategy as well as the positioning and the values of the brand. I am multilingual. I speak 3 languages, Hindi, English, and Konkani. The average Indian is multilingual, and the average Indian speaks at least 2 or 3 languages. But the reality is that a lot of Indians may not relate to either of the 2 official languages, that is Hindi and English. In the past, in order to cater to this, signs would carry the name of the shop in both English as well as a regional script. This is a building that I pass by on my way to work every day, and I'm most intrigued by the beautiful balance of the signs that are in 3 languages. And it's just so well crafted, and it's something that it's almost become a landmark in the city, for me at least. Packaging would also adopt a multilingual approach. Today, however, we seem to see a slight shift. With the accelerated rate of globalization and with the need to have a unified language of communication, we see most brands adopting English as a primary medium. There also seems to be a bit of a trend to look westernized. As we can see in the images here, there seems to be a clear preference. I think Shaina also illustrated this point quite well. On my visit to Dubai, I saw a host of brands plastered all over the city. But what particularly drew me to it was how local brands had embraced the culture and international brands had adapted to it. All signs are bilingual, all signs are in English as well as the Arabic script. You have English logos sitting proudly next to beautifully crafted Arabic versions. In Thailand, in Bangkok, I had a similar experience. I spent a lot of time in the supermarkets because I was really fascinated to identify brands and products, even though the packaging was in a script alien to me. What I loved about these 2 places is that I saw a beautiful harmony of global and local. It made me stop and wonder, why do we not see enough of this in India anymore? Have we become apologetic of our native languages? Have we stopped making the effort to cater to India's diversity? And what role and responsibility do we as designers play in all of this? Let's take a step back and try and understand how design can impact culture and society. Typography essentially gives a face to language, and language, just like art and music, forms a very integral part of our culture. And multilingual typography can form an integral part of our linguistic culture. 1,635 rationalized mother tongues in India, over 850 spoken languages, 22 official languages, and 11 recognized scripts. But sadly, the visual landscape doesn't seem to represent this at all. And we are beginning to see less and less of our native languages. So how can design create this impact? By creating design that embraces more than one script. By creating multilingual design, it is just one step to preserving India's rich and varied linguistic culture. Most designers would jump at this opportunity. We all love typography, and it's always a welcome challenge because it takes a deep understanding of aesthetics and art and the science behind it. But really, what is in it for brands? Why should brands adopt this approach? The answer is simple: inclusivity. The success of a brand can be directly related to its emotional, social, and cultural connect it has with its audience. The more inclusive a brand is, the more a brand includes more people, the more successful it is likely to be. And what we see today is we do see names of shops carrying the name of the company in the regional script as well. But what really and truly sets a brand apart is if the brand were to adopt a multilingual approach that is sensitive to local culture. What this means is that the brand must adapt its identity to the local script while maintaining the essence of the brand and the authenticity of the script. Let's look at a few examples to illustrate this point. Pizza Hut, here's 2 photographs of Pizza Hut in Mumbai and Pizza Hut in Chennai. Both signs are well executed and have well-crafted typography. But what we see is that the Devanagari version of the logo has managed to capture that essence of Pizza Hut, whereas the Tamil letters seem to fall short. Its stiff, upright letters don't capture the playfulness, the warmth, and the food-like quality of the Pizza Hut brand. Another example is how Vodafone and Airtel appears here. Now, looking at these two photographs, it appears as though Vodafone has taken a very strong position in wanting to reach out and connect with its regional audience. So how can design do all this? How can design have an impact on culture? How can it play a dual role for culture as well as for the brand itself? By creating a multilingual brandscape, we can help put an impact on culture as well as benefit the brand itself by making it appear far more inclusive. But with every task comes its own set of challenges. I'd like to outline some of the challenges I have faced in my experience and some of the questions that have been raised over the years. It's easy to look at Dubai and Bangkok and UAE and Thailand, but India has more than one script. We don't need to look too far away to find a solution for this. If we look at our own signage, our functional signage, like road signs, wayfinding signs, instructional signs, we can see that there seems to be quite a good balance of bilingual and trilingual approach to it. So whether it's English plus the regional language, or if it's English, Hindi, as well as the regional language. Another challenge that one faces is that just always isn't enough space on signs. I'm going to pause on this one and come back to this later where I have visual examples to explain how we overcame this one. Another common thing is that designers are only familiar with one or two scripts. Now, unlike type design, designing type for a logo is a far less, it's not as a skill, this level of skill is not the same as, say, type design. So if someone were to sort of invest time and train themselves and work with people who are able to read the script, they can train themselves into creating regional logos. If not, and if one is not inclined towards doing so, just as we collaborate with specialists like illustrators, photographers, and copywriters, we can collaborate with typographers to achieve fantastic results. Another very common challenge is that clients are just not willing to pay for the design of regional logos. Now, in the past, a client would hire a designer to design a logo, and there would be an additional charge for collaterals like, say, visiting cards, stationery, corporate brochures. We've seen a shift in this approach. And today, when you hire someone for branding, you look at the complete brand identity. It's about creating an identity system that works across a lot of variables, so with elements like the logo, the brand language, and possibly its primary brand collaterals. If we were to include the regional logo within the logo itself, clients would begin to see it as an integral part of the branding project and not just another additional collateral and not just another number on the invoice. The last one is that clients sometimes just don't see the importance of regional logos. Now, as important as it is to be a good designer and to develop your skill, it is also very important to be able to sell it to the client. It's one of the toughest things. And if we can strongly believe in this ideology, we possibly are closer to explaining it to the client. Now, what we need to tell them is that a multilingual approach for a brand has a positive impact on society, includes people, and these people, once they feel included, are more likely to warm up to the brand and create an emotional connect. So it's a win-win situation. Now, there are always challenges. There are going to be more challenges, and sometimes you may be successful, or you may not always be. But I'd like to take you through some of the examples where we were able to achieve some of these things that I was talking about. Some of these projects are work that I have done independently or work that I have done with my colleagues at Brand Union. We'll start with something that everyone loves, which is food. So Paradise is a widely popular chain of restaurants in Hyderabad. It was established in 1953, and it is known primarily for its fresh and authentic biryani. Paradise approached us early last year to refresh its identity because they were going to expand and go national. We created an identity that refreshed its original logo, but what we took to it, we wanted to create an identity that represented a contemporary brand that was backed by rich heritage, would have soft food-like qualities and warmth to it. Now, when we started designing the regional logo for its flagship restaurant, which is in Bangalore, we started looking at the available fonts that we have. And this was the one that we found closest to it, the one at the bottom. And we just felt that it did not do justice to all that we were trying to communicate with the type in English. So we decided to redraw it. And to go a little deeper into it, if you see the character on the far right, it ends in a knot. Now what we realized by eliminating that knot, we were able to bring the Kannada character far closer to the Latin letter form, and yet maintain the legibility of it. So our purpose was to translate the concept of the logo type from one script to another without affecting the authenticity of the script. We also wanted to carry forward the fluidity and flow within the letter forms. Now this was a part that we actually pondered quite a bit on. So the new identity was deliberately designed in a combination of serif and sans serif to represent a classic and contemporary, to find that balance. But while serifs serve a specific purpose in the Latin script, it may not always be relevant to take it forward to the Kannada script. And what we were happy to notice is that the horizontal bars in the Kannada script seem to sort of reflect that the same character. Now, I left one question unanswered earlier, which is when you don't have enough real estate on a sign, what do you do? We face a similar problem over here. And there was just not enough space to put the Kannada script. And also, South Indian scripts take up a lot more space horizontally than the Latin script. So what we did is, by strategically placing the Kannada logo on top of the sign, on top of the entrance, we ensured that it would not go unnoticed. Another prominent F&B company in South India is called AVT. They manufacture and package food and beverages. They approached us to design the packaging for their premium Dusty, which is called AVT Gold Cup. Now, packaging is a tough one over here. When it comes to multilingual packaging, it's quite a difficult task. It's not unattainable, but it is difficult. And the reason it is difficult is because the distribution and manufacturing zones may not always synchronize with the regional division. In this case, however, because the distribution was at a smaller scale, we were able to design a bilingual packaging for it in both English and Tamil. Another client of ours called Mayas, they're again an F&B company, very prominent in South India. They manufacture and package authentic traditional masalas. Like, it's similar to MTR, but they also have a wide range of restaurants in Bangalore. Now, in the packaging, because its distribution was far more than, say, what AVT was earlier, we weren't really able to adopt the multilingual approach on the pack. So what we did is we made sure that all the restaurants would carry the name of the brand in equal weightage, so that make sure that the overall feel is still bilingual in nature. Moving on to something a little on a larger and slightly more familiar space, HDFC Life in the banking and financial services sector. Now, what happens in the banking and financial services sector in India is there is a government mandate for the regional logo to be equal weightage or even far bigger than the English logo itself. But what we did is we felt that could we also go and take the tagline and design it in all the various scripts so that there would be a perfect synchronization. Every time you see it, you should see it as a perfect harmony of that local script. Brilio is a young IT company in California. They launched recently in late 2013, and when we created this identity for them, and the brand needed to the type needed to represent a company that is trend-setting, innovative, and bold. We took the same character forward into the Kannada logo, and we made sure that the dots under the exclamation points, we wanted to take that forward because it was almost significant to the logo, but we made sure that it wouldn't disturb the legibility of the Kannada script. Now, there was a bit of challenge over here because for Brilio, it was almost imperative that the brand appears global. When they were opening a branch in Bangalore, they wanted to look westernized. That was a given. So we pondered over how we should approach its signage. But I think working together with the clients, at the end of it, we all agreed that by putting both signs equally, prominently, and proudly together on the sign, it represents a brand that is an international brand, but that also caters to its local Bangalorean employees. Marks and Spencer's was just a fun typography project. It was a fun thing because they approached us to design their logos in various scripts. We still have to see the implementation of this, but hopefully it will be soon. Now, what we've seen is some examples of brands at a regional, national, and international scale. But what I would also like to talk about today is you don't need to necessarily do it at such a level. You could even start small. You can start off at much smaller touch points and integrate multilingual typography in everything that you do so you can give it far more visibility and hence preserving the languages. Rangashankara is a theatre company in Bangalore, and their annual theatre festival is a much awaited event. The theme for 2012 was its Shakespeare. But unlike all other Shakespeare festivals, what was unique about this one is that the plays were in 4 Indian languages and 4 international languages. So we designed this poster and all its collaterals that were inspired by vintage theatre posters, but that celebrated the multilingual nature and the mix of cultures that the festival brought together. We even looked at the smallest touch point as a schedule to make sure that we could integrate all the possible scripts in it. The last one is a most recent project. Like I said, Brand Union was formerly known as Ray & Keshavan, and Ray & Keshavan was quite famous for sending out calendars every year to all their clients and friends. So this year we used the calendar as an opportunity to announce the change of name of the company. Now, the design basically shows how Brand Union, or BU, adapts to all its various scripts, thus reinforcing a global brand, but that is also sensitive to local culture and understands Indian sensibility. Now, what I'd like to conclude with is that as designers, we have the power to make a difference with the choices that we make. As conscious designers, it is our responsibility to ensure that this influence is positive in nature. As brand consultants, we can help brands realize that a multilingual approach is in the interest of the brand. A multilingual approach that is sensitive and respectful of local culture is in the interest of the brand, as well as can have an impact on culture in the longer run that is far greater than the design itself. Thank you.